And one thing I will tell you about conference is you want to meet as many people as possible. So it's not just going and educating yourself at conference. It's also knowing your surroundings, meeting each person that comes, close to you, I should say. So that's where we met, at the pool at the Sacramento conference, and we fell in love, and there's happily ever after, right? But it really
totally
was.
true.
It was just, as we met, it was just, asking questions and getting to know each other. And it really just grew into just a great friendship. And then the best part about this business is when somebody makes it to national marketing director, you almost pee your pants. You're so stinking excited for them. So when Jules walked as national marketing director, my whole team was also just as excited, because she also works with a lot of them out of Colorado. So it was just, it's so huge when you see other people going and moving through it. And that's what's different between our business and a corporate, is because you're like, come on up, come on up, come on. And so I'm super excited to welcome her tonight. Let me just go over her bio. Hold on. I just want you guys to know everything about this amazing woman. Just so you know.
Real quick, Stace, really quick. Could you record this at all? I just got a question.
Yeah.
Can you hit record?
It's recording.
Yeah. Oh, great. Thanks. Yeah. Okay.
But one thing that's great about this is, you guys, I have done this. I have 4 kids, youngers, and we're always on the go. I am actually doing this in my car, waiting at practice. You just do it on the fly, and this is how you rock it. But okay, so it's fun. So Jules is an 18 Club National Marketing Director of the Juice Plus Company. Just so you guys know, National Marketing Director 18 Club is huge. Usually you're just touching 12 clubs. So for her to already be rocking 18, it just shows how just amazing she is, and her team. Her background is in the field of fitness and wellness, where she has trained for the past 12 years as a certified personal trainer, bar, Pilates, spin, and CrossFit instructor, as well as being a certified health and life coach. Helping other families improve their lifestyles through the Juice Plus business become debt-free. Travel and live a life of their dreams is a true passion of hers that motivates her daily, and it really shows through her heart, and it shows just through her how she lives. That's what she really destines to do. She lives in Lander, Wyoming, if anyone knows where that's at. I'm sure a bunch of you are from there. I'm like, where is that? Let's see. Where she lives with her husband, Rob, and 2 awesome boys, William, who is 6, and Michael, who is 4. So I'm so super excited to turn this over to you, sweetheart. She is doing the art of recruiting, and she is a master of just not just recruiting, but loving on people, bringing them in and helping them find their goals. So take it over, sister.
Oh, well, thank you. And I'm so excited to see we almost tapped the lines out at 48. Holy cow. Well, what a gift to be able to be asked to speak. Actually, some of you have heard this. I was at the Denver Regional speaking and training on this exact PowerPoint presentation in September. So when she asked, do you want to speak on my call? I was like, well, I'd love to. And I really enjoyed this conversation. Can you, everyone, just give me a thumbs up if you can hear me okay? Because I was getting so much feedback. Great. Thank you. I needed a headset. So something really cool is when you get in the groove. So when I wrote that bio, that was September. We just closed that at 21 Club. And I don't say that to like toot my own horn. I say that because when you're in the groove and you're in this art of recruiting, clubs literally fly. It's like this momentum ball that you can stop if you wanted, but you don't want to stop that, right? So we went from, we grew 12 clubs between conferences. So 6 club in April up to 21 this month, closing out October business. So again, I share that because I've gone through a lot of life experiences in the last 9.5 years in my journey of Juice Plus. And when you get this ball going, you just keep doing what I'm going to share. Okay, so grab a pen and paper. A lot of this information, if you've been with the Juice Plus company for a while, you know this, but staying consistent with this activity will grow you. So I'm going to share my screen. And I think we'll just do this. You can see kind of all the PowerPoint, but that's okay. It's just us. Well, no, you know what? I'll do slideshow. Okay. We'll do the whole shebang. So Stacy said, I'm JulesMeeker, National Marketing Director. I live in Lander, Wyoming. My story is 9.5 years ago, I heard about Juice Plus. And at the time, I was a 25-year-old Pilates instructor, and I was training for my first marathon. So this picture was my first, actually my second marathon, this picture was. Believe it or not, I didn't have a picture at the finish line of my first. But I was training for my very first marathon. And my coworker and really great friend now, but acquaintance at the time, I just met her, Lori Egner, shared Juice Plus with me. And I had been an ego. I had been an athlete my entire life. So I had a lot of ego. I'm not going to lie, like all the way through high school, training as an athlete and then personal trainer, Pilates instructor. I thought I had the answers. I thought I was plant-based already. I don't need your Juice Plus stuff. So I totally pushed her aside and blew her off. And so when I was sharing with her that I'm really bonking at 3:00 and I just can't teach Pilates, I'm so tired. And then I'm having a serious Ben & Jerry's addiction at night. She kept sharing this Juice Plus stuff with me. And finally I wised up and actually said, great, give me the information. I was going home that weekend to know why I was going to say no to Juice Plus. So truly that's my story. Went home, listened to the first CD with my husband because I wanted to be educated together of why we were either going to say yes or no. I was thinking no. And actually after the first CD, it was Dr. Richard Du Bois and Mitra and all of our fabulous doctors. I was hooked. I was like, oh my gosh, Rob, we both were. We knew this is what we were missing. Now my husband, you should know his background. He was a collegiate cyclist in Durango. And when I met him, he had just summited South America's highest mountain, which is Aconcagua. Do you think he was supplementing with anything besides, actually they ate butter at high altitude, raw butter, right? They were not. They would have like loved this fruits and veggies encapsulated. So when he found out about this, he was like, yes, I've been an athlete. I've not had a solution to help bridge that nutritional need and gap. And neither of us believed in vitamins. Neither of us took them. We didn't buy them. So we jumped on board. And by the second CD, I wanted to jump into this business, and I did. I finally had something to offer my clients, my personal training clients. They would come to me and ask, what do you take? And I would say nothing. Vitamins make me nauseous and sick. I don't like that my urine is neon and that it stinks. I just don't like it. So good luck. Eat your fruits and veggies and really try to eat your nutritional needs, meet it. So when I found out about the business and then I had a solution to offer, it was a no-brainer. Jumped on board. And really, to be honest, for the first 6 years, I quickly grew to fast track sales coordinator before they had all these incentives because I knew I wanted the 22% commission. And then I stopped there. I paused there for about 6.5 years. I have a lot of different things. If you were at conference, you heard my NMD speech. I had 3 big things that held me at sales coordinator. Okay. I had my life coaching certification. I was building clients for that. I had a thriving personal training business in Steamboat, training people in their second homes. I had 2 babies. And then thirdly, I had ego. So I had ego about the business, even though I knew better. I really did have ego that kept me at sales coordinator. And what's interesting about that, and I shared this on main stage, and a lot of people are private messaging me now, like, I'm a gym owner, I'm a bar instructor, and I battle with ego. And I'm like, I know I'm not alone with this, guys. This is a pretty common thing. For me, if I actually thought it was like the I'm too cool syndrome, I actually thought like, I am a Pilates instructor. Like I'm way too cool for direct sales. I actually didn't realize it. Now looking back, it was completely insecurity. I didn't really think I could possibly be a national marketing director. And I share that in front of you 50 because if you have someone that's like, I'm just too cool to go to conference or really I am a life coach, and I don't mean to make fun I have that tone because I was that person. I was a certified life coach. I had my own website, Healthy Balanced Mama, that I had a passion of helping women get their life back after babies. What do you think we would do at Juice Plus? That's our business model. But I didn't realize at the time, so it kept me stuck in for 6 years. Now, what shifted for me in my business was, I'm going to switch to my next slide, my why. My why shifted, you guys. And I went from making about $400 a month as a sales coordinator, stuck in the water, just didn't really know how to move forward, but knew I kind of wanted to do the business. 2.5 years ago, 3 in January, we were living in a really expensive mountain town, Durango, Colorado. And my husband had a seasonal job. We moved down to the south so we'd be closer to Arizona next to Stacy because it was warmer. from Steamboat, and we loved Durango. And so we lived there. It was super expensive. My husband had a seasonal job. It was fine in the summer. And then all of a sudden, the shop closed in September that he was managing. And then we went through some savings in October and November. And then he had about 4 different independent contract positions in December and January. And guess what happens in those independent contract positions? No one pays on time. Like, no one. Seriously. Literally, it was like, do you remember he actually worked for Red Bull? I don't even know if I should say that publicly, but so he did, and that was a huge chunk, and they were like 2 months late just by billing and all of that. So middle of January comes, and we are like, okay, our plans of just, okay, credit card, and then when all this money comes in, we'll just pay it off, which we did. But when you're in that zone of the 2-week period of like, okay, but we don't have money on the credit card. We don't have money in the bank because we're waiting for all the stuff because you've been out of work, consistent pay, residual pay, right? Like we have a Juice Plus in September. No lie. Labor Day weekend was like door shut. So I felt the pinch when I went to the grocery store, and I get to share this more elaborately in front of you 50 because at stage, NMD speech, it's 4 minutes long and you just cannot go in depth. But I want you to know this story because I can't tell you how many people are in those shoes that I was at. So I went to the grocery store with my sons in tow, and I was declined credit card. And then I was declined my debit card. And I sat there totally embarrassed, sweating like in my winter coat. Thankfully, I have a check from personal training or doing some bar classes. And I was like, okay, thank you, Jesus. I have a check. I went and cashed it, went back to the grocery store, and I literally sat in my car after, and I was like, oh, I need a job. I need to go back to personal training or like really kickstart my life coach training and build my website and this and that. And then it hit me literally like across the forehead. And I was praying, and I was like, Juice Plus. I have these 2 beautiful boys. The picture on the upper left was literally in July. Actually, the picture in the middle, focus on that one. That's about the time that I was declined. So here are these beautiful boys. I did not want to go back to work. And I'm sitting there in the car, and I literally was like, Juice Plus, you can do this before they wake up. You can do this every day. They nap from 1 to 3. And then they go to bed at 7 every night. You can do this from 7 to 10. And I did. And it was literally a stake in the ground. January, 3 years ago, this coming January, we went from sales coordinator, quiet sales coordinator, like quiet. I had one rep that she's been with me the whole time. She's wonderful. She was my only rep, really. She and we went as a team, we grew from sales coordinator to QNMD by that following August. We were promoted February to April, that upper left-hand corner to senior sales coordinator, and the $1,000 bonus flew us to a wedding that we are officiating in Hawaii. I mean, that's how tight we were. It was like, oh my gosh, we're officiating a wedding. How are we going to pay? Thank you, senior sales coordinator. Boom, $1,000 check. We're going to Hawaii. So I share all that because, before I used to want to have this face like, oh, everything's perfect. Of course we wouldn't be that tight with money, but we all are. I don't care if, as much money we make, we can spend. And so I don't care if there's people that make $300,000 a year, we can get in that same boat, right? All of us. Or, you get the point. So I always have to share that, where that was a serious turning point in my business. So then we grew that quickly, QMD, within 7 months. Stacey, you might unmute. I'm hearing some zipping. So we moved. Actually, the same month we got to QNMD 12 Club. In 7-month period, we moved to Lander, Wyoming. So my husband got a job, and we moved. So guess what we had to do? So I had just moved to Durango, built this fabulous team to QNMD, and we left them in Durango, and they were babies, and they kind of fell through the cracks. Moved to Lander, lived a year here, built community, did a ton of events, and now we went from last February till now, NMD, and now we're moving 21 Club, right? So people ask me, like, how did you do 2 moves in such a short amount of time? This is why I built this PowerPoint. But I have to share all of those nuggets because I have to share, like, I moved in the middle of my QNMD ship of 12 Club. Like, I just danced at the Eltons and then it fizzled out. Like, my team, not all of my team, but like a senior sales coordinator line of mine was gone because I left and they weren't trained well enough before we took off in a month's notice. So this is what I did here. And I really intentionally did this since February. So the art of recruiting. Okay, that was my team. I love this quote. And my sweet Shelly is on, one of my amazing reps here is on the line. She had said this one time at conference, like, your vibe attracts your tribe, girl. And she's hilarious. And I love this. In fact, she gave me a really cool, it's over here, but she gave me a plaque that said that. What does this look like? So I want you to be reminded of the movie Top Gun. Wait, hold on, sweets. Stace.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
You might want to mute.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You muting yourself?
I'm muting everyone real quick. Hold on.
Okay. Okay. Can you hear me now? Andy
go.
Kennedy, give a thumbs up if you hear me. Okay, super. So what does this look like? Everyone remembers Top Gun. Okay, right? You don't know the story behind Top Gun, though. I'm going to tell you. So Top Gun was actually really released. The government paid some, not all of it, but they did help fund this movie. What happened was they were not getting people to sign up to be naval aviators. So they decided to launch a movie, right? And what happened in Top Gun? 600% increase enrollment of naval aviators. Why? Because everyone remembers Maverick, everyone remembers Goose, and everyone remembers the beach volleyball, right? Can I hear an amen? Okay, it's true. I don't care. I was 6, I think, when I first watched it and I fell in love with Top Gun. I was like, I will sign up to be a naval aviator. I loved it. Why did people jump on board? Why do people still know Top Gun, right? It's because it oozed so much, like sex appeal with Goose and Maverick and volleyball. And then there was a love story and it was sexy. I mean, really, they were like, if you were a naval aviator, this is what it looks like. Their vibe attracted 600% more recruits. Okay, everyone understand that? So your vibe attracts your tribe. This is a picture of last April, and I don't even have an updated one because I haven't updated my slides from this last conference. Well, what is attractive? We know this. Confidence, right? Approachability, humility, sincerity, vulnerability, being silly. So part of, like, as I've grown as a human and I've gotten over myself to be like, yeah, I was declining in a grocery store. Like, when it happened, I swear to God, I wasn't going to share that with anyone. Like, that's between God and I. I'm not going to share that one because what would people think of me, you know? But really, it's not about me. It's about me sharing my story, being vulnerable, putting that ego aside to allow myself to be a voice to help other people know that if I can do it, anyone can do it, right? So being vulnerable, not being afraid to share your true authentic self and your silliness or whoever you are. You know, you don't have to do not be a cookie cutter of anyone else. You have got to embrace who you are, be confident in that. That is what's attractive. That was Top Gun. Okay, so we know all that. Joy. That's probably the biggest thing is people are attracted to joyful people, right? You don't want the Eeyore in your bubble. No way. People want to be around people, positive people, at least positive people do want to be. The next thing, okay, great. So I love all that, but how, Jules, how do I get to be joyful or consistent with the things I previously said? Well, I always say life coaching, Juice Plus coaching, how are you starting your day? So your day in the morning, and if you have to wake up, I wake up at 6:15 to do this every day because when I don't and I'm sleeping and I'm cranky at my kids, then I'm telling them to hurry up and get to school and hurry up and eat. But if I get up at 6:15, I have my quiet time for a half an hour, then I get them up, blah, 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 right? Then I'm set and I'm in my joyful space before they get up. Okay, what am I doing then? Or what do you do? What are you reading? Truly, look at what you are reading. Are you reading or watching like Fox News? Or are you reading devotionals, affirmations, monthly books? So actually I'm on to, I have to update my slides. This was in September. John Maxwell, How Successful People Grow. I liked this one. I journaled with it. Gabrielle Bernstein, May Cause Miracles. I've read like 4 of her books. Awesome. I'm actually now reading Marianne Williamson, Return to Love. Excellent read. I'm constantly Amazoning books. So every month or every 2 weeks, I'm going on to the next book. Usually I do one, I always have my devotional, I have my affirmation cards, and then I have my monthly kind of themed books. And they're always for growing. To be honest, I don't read anything else that's not enhancing me, but that's just me personally. Okay. I'm a huge podcast follower because that's during nap time, like getting ready or taking a bath, or I live in Lander, Wyoming, where the closest city is about 5 hours, 6 hours away. So when I drive to Denver, I'm listening to podcasts. I love Lori Harder, Earn Your Happy. I like some of Gretchen Rubin's Happier, but I love Lori Harder's Earn Your Happy. She's a part of another direct sales company, and she oozes success and joy and love. I love her. She's great. And she's funny. She's really funny and like beautiful and silly, and it's really good stuff. So what music? So this one for sure, like what would you listen to if you're going to go run a marathon? You wouldn't be listening to like Mozart. Well, maybe some people would. I wouldn't. I'm going to be listening to something that pumps me up, that good beat. So upbeat, or is it kind of melancholy and depressing? Because 9 times out of 10, right, if that's going on around you, you're going to be dropping lower to that. So if you want to up-level yourself and your energy that you're giving out to the world, take note of that. Taking a bath, you could probably listen to like Mozart, something chill, but you know what I mean by that. The next thing is, this may sound silly, but I've actually had someone that was at the Denver Regional. It was really cool. She tagged me on Facebook. She went and revamped her office. Melanie Simon, love her. And she took a picture and she was like, thanks for inspiring me to do this, because words are really powerful. We know that. So all over my office, you can see it behind me. There's my dream one. I have different quotes and different words, and my dream board's right above my desk, but it's my bliss haven. It makes me happy. It's be your own kind of beautiful, do all things with love, love you more. All things are possible. Follow your dreams. Just tons of, it fills me up, my family. It's just a happy little nook. So for real, like, you know what, go to TJ Maxx, go to Target, go wherever and find those things that make you happy. And revamp your office, and that you want to be in. It makes you excited and excited to sit in front of your computer, make those hard phone calls, and invite people into those are easy. I don't mean to say they're hard. They're easy. Those are fun. The prospecting calls and inviting people, but you got to get your head right, and that's part of my bliss haven. Artwork from my boys, just cool stuff. So I love the quote. Some people don't love this, but how you do anything is how you do everything. So I find that very true. So people watch consistency and align with work ethic. So it's really interesting. Of course, in these different moves, of course, there's a little bit of, since being in Lander, I couldn't just come in guns a-blazing. I had to build community and gather and make friends, to be honest. But people watched me for a year, and they were like, man, she just doesn't let up on these fruits and veggies, and salad and jar parties. I stayed crazy consistent because it's who we are. It's Juice Plus culture, right? We're continually all the time inspiring healthy living. I'm posting about it. People watched that. So once I started inviting them in a year later after living here, then they joined me because they watched that. So if you move anytime soon, or even if you're somewhere and you're like, I don't really have friends here yet, create community then. Create your own community. And by building events, and we're really good, and I know Stacy is really good at doing this because I watch her on Facebook. She has a ton of different events that happen all the time. Salad in a jar, or the soup in a jar, or freezer bags, all of that. That's great community building. And for us, I don't even totally bring in Juice Plus presentation. I had to create something that just got people in my house, and then they saw my tower guard and they saw my Juice Plus, bottles, but it was just an easy way to get 25 people in my house every 2 weeks. And then from there, that trust came. And then that's where truly, last January was like, okay, I've got to do something. That's what I did. I actually started with salad in a jar parties every 2 weeks, like clockwork. And at first time, 5 people came. By the end, I finished in May. We took the summer off. I think I had 25 at least people. We ran out of space. So it's crazy what consistency does, right? I love vision board manifestation boards. I'm going to actually do one for my community at the library soon. But that's another idea. Think outside the box. Again, it's not necessarily Juice Plus. I'm not presenting Juice Plus in that. I am presenting the fact that I'm aligned. I always say I'm aligned with an incredible company where our mission is to inspire healthy living around the world. Part of that vision board manifestation night is we also inspire healthy giving. So vision casting, vision board, doing your vision boards. And then also part of that could be the giving portion of that as well. But I weave it in that way. How is that, by the way? What's the score? I wonder. Sorry, I just saw that the game is on, Terry. Okay, 7-2. Oh man. Okay, social media, right? Let's talk this. Let's talk social media. All of you know this, but what are you putting out there? No drama. No drama. Okay, we'll sing that song. Okay, because, and I have had to, especially with the politics. Oh my gosh, I know you all feel this way, right? You type something, and actually what makes you feel better, I type something and then I delete it and then I'm better. And that's it. And you let it alone. I do not I've liked something and then I'm like, I feel convicted. And I'm like, nope, because you're drama. So then I kind of unlike it. And it's not to stay, you can have the opinion that you want on that. But for me, I just don't want it out there. So for me, it's just no drama. I stay out of it. Optimism, and part of that is being authentic though and vulnerable. I just posted something right there, authenticity. Something today, authenticity. That doesn't mean that you don't share true stuff that has happened. I really know that I'm a source to help people out of financial dire straits, right? And I'll just share this because it's very open and my husband's public about it because he knows he's going to help so many people out of it. But, a year ago, my husband actually was at treatment for alcohol and he's a year sober. And so today I got to post on Facebook because I'm seeing all these memories pop up and it's really causing me to reflect and just thank God where we're at. And that doesn't mean that I have to fake it's all okay. No, I'm authentic that I post that and go, what a difference a year makes. And then I hashtag sober husband, taking back our life, better every day, right? Stacy was with me through that whole process. But so it doesn't mean that you do not have to be perfect. I do not mean that no drama, optimism, authentic doesn't mean that you can actually show your true heart, what you're going through. Does everyone understand that? I think you do, but because I actually walked through that too of if maybe people will put me on a platform, I can't really share that. Of course not. People want to be related. And guess how many people are going through that in their life? So many. So I get to be a source and just know that. So I just wanted to share that with you guys of but stay authentic, be optimistic and authentic. So subtle, remember, let's be subtle with those plugs with Juice Plus. My hashtags a lot that I use are, now we have to add take healthy back, healthy living revolution, achiever, dreamer, JP lifestyle, make a life, and then team true. True is my team. So those are the ones, remember, we always want to create intrigue. People want to go, what's Jules up to? She's posting about Tower Garden, just about picking her lettuce off that. And I hashtag, take healthy back. We know all that, but really being careful not to just totally bombard and it's the difference between being a billboard and having those subtle shares, right? Billboards just say, and they don't create conversation. You want subtlety. So there's conversation there. So this is in September. I actually pulled off my last, 6, whatever, how many there are, 6 quote tiles that I had in September. But these are just ideas, that I had posted in August and September. So you're better than unicorns and sparkles combined. Be grateful, eat more veggies, love others. September's the new January. I'm just a girl who decided to go for it. Outdream your dreams. These are the type of quote tiles that I use. I love quote tiles because then you can put your own little thing to it as well and just share your true authentic self and your heart behind that. So yeah, that's kind of the idea of Facebook. Okay, if you were at conference, you heard me say, I up-leveled myself. And a lot of this is kind of a new term. I think everyone's heard of like this term. Up level means what you're doing so you will up level yourself and attract and find prospects if you start your day with a winning mindset. So how are you starting your day? Be consistent. It's positive social media presence. So I'm tying a little bow on this. Be authentically you. Recruit up and invite in. What I mean by this is remember to recruit up to people that you look up to. So the people that are like those kind of sparkly, like, man, they got it going on. Talk to them. You know, a lot of people I talk to, they're scared to talk to those people. And why wouldn't they want this incredible opportunity, right? So write that chicken list down, recruit up. So your chiropractor or your physical therapist or your physical therapy assistant or your whatever, okay? Those people that you love and admire, recruit up to them and then invite in. And then, of course, your vibe attracts your tribe. So that really concludes that training that I did and that I wanted to share with you guys. Let's see here. If there were questions, you know, I would just say you could open the lines if there were questions about that. It's pretty self-explanatory. But really that is, I don't care who you are, where you live. If you're just authentic and you show up to your community with a giving heart and a loving heart and a great intention, but then you're bold in asking and talking to people about what we have to offer, this is where the magic happens. But then remember to stay consistent after you reach these different goals. So a lot of times, I guess I'll conclude with that, people get to these different positions in the marketing plan and then they stop. Because, and they even, someone warned me, they were like, you'll get to NMD, but do not stop because then everything falls out. Like, no, this is a great starting point. So stay consistent as you continue to grow up into your, you know, goals that you want. Yeah, and I'll have to respond, yeah, to that. So yeah, any questions at all? Do you want to open the line? And if you didn't hear,
hey, Jules, I have a question.
Yeah.
Was there ever a time, was there ever a time that you were like frustrated? You were like, I can't do this. Tell me about that and what got you.
Oh man. Okay, you know what, you guys, I can tell you. So last February, I felt that way. And I went to something called the Bliss Project. It's in Newport Beach. And again, it's Lori Harder. She does this, that's the podcast lady. She's with a different company, but I loved her energy on Facebook. So I followed her for years. She has this women's event and I went there. And you know what? I got to dissect. So you got to write down your goals for the year, right? And I had like run a half marathon. I still have to do that. I think I'm just going to run 13 miles and call it good here in town. But I wrote down everything that I wanted to do. And one of it was National Marketing Director by July. And then you had to write down what's holding you back. You know what I wrote down? I literally wrote down, I was like, I live in a town of 7,000. There can't be a national marketing director from a town of 7,000. And I'm 6 hours away from the nearest town. You know how ridiculous that is? Because you know how many wonderful people live in Lander, Wyoming? Tons. And you know how many people are on Juice Plus in Lander? And we are a national marketing director team with incredible team here. Like not very many people. We still have tons of people to get healthy, but that was the ridiculous thing I was telling myself. And in February, I didn't have a big team, you guys, here. I mean, I actually didn't have a team here at all. No, I did. I had a team, but my rep that was going wasn't really active. What happened in February, I put a stake in the ground and I wrote down that ridiculousness. And then I had to talk to this person next to me, my partner. And she said, we had to say why that was ridiculous, why I said that. And then say, I am going to be a national marketing director because Lander, Wyoming needs that. And it doesn't matter where you live. You can live in Los Angeles with a gazillion people and still not be right. You can still have that same limiting self-belief. So I went home and I started asking people to host events. Literally, the gymnastics teacher for my sons didn't even like Juice Plus. She had been on it. She didn't like it. She's on it now. But she didn't like it. And I went to her and I said, I know you don't like Juice Plus, but I'm trying to expand my business, and businesswoman to businesswoman, would you open or host an event? So she did. And she hosted an event, and we had like 10 people there. And then the ball, every week I had an event, and I kept asking different people to host an event because I had this dream. Because and I said that, I'd say that businesswoman to businesswoman, would you just open your space and invite the people in the gym? I know it's not for you, but maybe it's for other people. And that was true and authentic to me, right? I wasn't trying to be sneaky. And she was like, totally, I don't, and maybe I need to listen to it. Well, she came to my talk, and of course she loved Juice Plus after that. But that's how I started. But that was where I was very stuck. And, but really you have to analyze really what that limiting self-belief talk is. Like, what are you actually telling yourself? What are you really like, I'm bored, or I'm just stuck? Well, here's the other thing. But if you're sitting there and you're like, no one wants to be on my team, like, oh, okay, look at this posture. It's usually what happens. Would you want to follow that? You know what I mean? And I don't mean to be mean, but I'm like, lift up, go for a run around the block, and be like, boom, of course you want to be on my team. I'm amazing. I'm doing things. And either you're coming with me or I'm leaving you behind. That's the posture you guys show up. So if you feel that way, I know that feeling. I was there in January, but I realized it was like, ew, this face of like, no one wants to be on my team and no one's going to follow that, right? So you've got to up level yourself and fake it till you become it. My national marketing director speech, I said, fake it till you become it. And I said that all the time. I don't know what I'm doing as an NMD. Now I feel like I kind of know what I'm doing as an NMD. You totally learn as you go, you guys. I have not arrived. I am figuring this out. And guess what? You'll figure it out to your 100 club and beyond. So, and that's fake it till you become it. I'm faking it till I become a 24 club, 39 club, 100 club. Okay. Don't worry about it. You'll fake it till you become it. And then also in my speech, I said, follow your butterflies. Follow your butterflies, meaning do the things that scare you. So Denver Regional, I was scared to go speak in front of 300 people, but I was like, oh, that makes me nervous. I better do it. And I did. And I was so nervous, and I got on stage and I stinking loved it. I was like, I love this. I think I may need to do public speaking some more. This is really fun. So, and then even if it's not that big, if it's going and speaking in front of, last month I went to Casper and I spoke at the hospital, and I still got a little twinge of nervousness, but I like that now. I know I'm in my sweet spot now that I feel those nerves. I'm like, ooh, I'm doing something big. When I feel those nerves, I actually drive a little harder because I know something huge is about to happen. So follow your butterflies. If you are not nervous, you're not going to grow. You've got to get out of that comfort zone as well. So if you're stuck, what makes you nervous? Do it. And then keep doing it and keep doing that.
Oh,
Magic will happen.
It's so true. Does anybody have a question for her? Sally Jill, can you unmute? Try unmuting bottom left. Actually, never mind. Let me see if I can read your lips. I'm kidding.
Hi, Miss Julie. Wondering if you could tell me maybe the top 3 people that were on your chicken list.
Oh, my chicken list. Who were on my chicken list?
Yeah, the top 3.
Oh, yeah, I am trying to think. I've kind of talked to I'm trying to think. It's been a while since I've had a chicken list. Shoot, you're kind of stumping me. I would say my son's teacher. When I first moved here, I was like, ooh, she would be, and she's actually now going to senior sales coordinator by Anaheim as her goal, 6 club. And she was on my chicken list because I knew she had 3 kids under 5. She was super busy, but I knew she would be amazing. But I was like, ooh, I don't want to scare her and I don't want to bug her. And so, yeah, she'd be chicken list. And then the conversation came up and we chatted. I mean, I've had a ton of different conversations with gym owners, and I always pick up the phone and have that conversation. But a lot of times it takes a while. Those conversations, they take a while, right? Especially gym owners. So some of those, Yeah. I mean, kind of just those higher profile people like in your head. Doctors, having conversations. But remember, I don't mean this rude at all because I'm an athlete and I'm a personal trainer. But docs and jocks can be the hardest nuts to crack. So don't take it personal. It can take a long time. It can. So yeah, I would say kind of gym owners, but now I kind of feel for me, they're not on my chicken list because I know how long it can take to crack. So I just stay consistent with them. Yeah. Anyone else?
Awesome.
Jules, I have a quick question for you. This is Tara. I have seen you post some stuff about Tower Gardens in Lander, and I know when you were pushing for NMD like a rock star that you did like a rebate type thing.
Yes.
I'm wondering, have you had luck with that kind of stuff with Tower Gardens, and how has it been repping Tower Gardens in a place like Lander, and do you have any words of advice on that?
Well, Lander is a really good market for them because it's a really cool community. It's a community that has a ton of their outdoor enthusiasts. Everyone hunts, so they're very locavore. Like every single person, like all my reps, they're amazing. They're like, oh, I'm out this weekend, I'm going hunting. And they each get their elk and they fill their freezer and they're totally locavore. It's seriously amazing to me. I'm like, you guys get it. They have chickens. They have, like, it's seriously the most locavore. Like everyone says, oh, we're locavore. This is actually a community that truly is locavore because we kind of have to be. It's far from everywhere. So things are expensive. Food is expensive here. So for us, and we're savvy. I have to say this community is very savvy about staying organic and as grounded as possible as far as their food choices. Now, of course, there's a lot of need in that. You know what I'm saying? But I think being isolated, there's some pros to that. People are more intentional on purchasing and hunting and all that. Okay, Tower Gardens rebate, first question. I have had probably about 4 over the last several years order it with the rebate. That's it, you guys. I have had several people in Lander. I think we have 12 Tower Gardens in Lander now, maybe more. Actually more at this point, 14. And we'll have 15 this next month. Those people have just been reps. Usually they're reps and they order, or they just did it without the rebate. But the rebate thing, the reason I offer those, some of it was to kind of push up to the numbers. I'm not going to lie, 33,000 can be a leap. But I didn't get any takers on that. And the thing about that is I don't mind doing that, but you give a lot of your retail sales profit away. The reason I don't mind doing that though is because I really want to get Tower Gardens in communities, because if they're in different communities, people are going to talk about them more, right? So I don't mind doing that, like offering these things for Christmas, have a rebate to gift that gift or, to gift it. So that's my thoughts on that. And then it honestly has been a good place to share Tower Gardens and Lander. But it's because of, again, we are more isolated. We don't have access to fresh produce often. And, it's gross once you get it. Once you go to City Market and your Safeway, you get it, it's already kind of rotting. It's disgusting. So people see that and they're like, ugh, we got it. And a day later, my spinach is moldy. So I speak into that. So, but Tara, I'll share more as last winter really was the first winter that a lot of people in this community saw. Now this winter with 14 people really in the last year that we've shared it with, they're getting savvier with it. So I'll let you know more, Tara, about that, like this next year and how that looks.
Awesome. Thank you. And I would encourage all of you guys to follow her on that because it really caught my attention and I struggle with Tower Gardens and in some of these small towns, these farming towns. I think you're right. They get it. And so I loved watching it and have been meaning to ask you about that forever. So thanks for sharing about that. I appreciate it.
Totally. And I think you hit the nail on the head. If you're in a city and you have Costco and it's that much cheaper, like you're probably going to go to Costco. We don't have that option. And a lot of your friends that live more in those rural communities, they don't either. So they should know about that. And even posting quick live feed, Facebook lives on just how it works has been great. And then people private message me that. Someone asked do you offer up any gifts for hosts that host a party? Yeah, usually I'll do like a shaker bottle with a 15 serving shake. I don't like to get, yeah, that's usually kind of what I do, because then it's just nice, or like a little gift card somewhere. Nothing crazy, but just enough, like $25, especially if they really pushed for it and they invited their friends. Like that gymnastics gal, she invited her friends, so I gifted her a little, but of course a Juice Plus product, because I want her to try it and get on it and love it. And she did. Any other questions? Remember to unmute if you do.
Do you normally lead with the product or the business? I have a lot of customers, and I need reps.
Okay. So now, of course, you're going to go through the mission-driven model, and you're going to find those amazing people that love their product, and you're just going to have that conversation and go, oh my goodness, I'm so happy that your skin, hair, and nails are growing. You haven't gotten sick for 6 months or a year. Have you thought of sharing this with the world? I mean, so many people need to know about this. Have you thought of that? We're having so much fun. One thing, I made the huge shift back in February I had 2 stake in the ground moments 2.5 years ago and last February. We've had a big, thick, 3 years of our life, but it's been amazing. And we've done it, but we have. So I've had 2 stake in the ground moments, and each stake in the ground was business and even more business. Like, do I truly believe in the industry of direct sales, the company of Juice Plus, and the product? Most people, yes, product, no problem. But sometimes there can be some industry, right? Direct sales. Get with Eric Worre stuff. Devour it. Watch the free videos. Have it so that you are proud that it's literally a gift wrapped in a bow to offer people when you share this business. So that's my 2 cents about that. So you just get there and you'll start just oozing. With love, you'll start oozing and sharing this business opportunity, because it changes lives. It changes lives. We're debt free. We have more in savings than I ever thought possible. We're going to be able to put 20% down on a house that, a nice house. Like, it just crazy. We've flown to Hawaii and Mexico, and just the light. I mean, it's beautiful. And I never really thought, my husband works for a private college in town, and he loves his job. He loves it. So I love that he loves his job. It's not for the money. We'll just say that, right? It's private college. And it's just, yeah, I mean, we would be incredibly tight with a family of 4 on what he makes. So it's such a gift. So sharing that with the world, I'm going to share that with everybody, So it's that conviction of that. Anyone else? Probably one more, and then I have an 8:30 new rep launch that I have to get on to. I didn't realize the time. Anyone else?